Hi there, my awesome friends. I hope you taping a tag along with me. If you haven't joined the Tape a Tag Challenge on Facebook, please join the group and share your metal tape tags with us. But today we're going to use embossing folders. Alrighty then, let's get started. So these are 3 tags that I have done using embossing folders, and really the options are limitless. I am not going to emboss the tape for you because you can go and check another tutorial on how to use an embossing machine, because you've either got an embossing machine or you don't. But this plastic goodie is called an embossing folder, and you use it with your hand embossing machine. Or you may have an electric one, but most of us have a little hand one, and then you emboss your tape. So we're working with 70 micron heavy duty tape, and I have already embossed a few patterns. Can you see that? And the tape, as you know, 70 micron is about the weight of pewter, probably a little bit lighter, but it works a lot like pewter. So if you want to do this tutorial and you only have the 30 micron tape, what I suggest is to mount your piece of 30 micron tape onto a little piece of cardstock, smooth it down with your credit card, and then emboss it. So you can do the same tutorial with your thin tape. Okay, so what I've done already is I embossed my sheet. This one I've colored with alcohol ink, and we are going to get started. So my very dirty craft mat. I want to remind you to always buff your alcohol ink, distress it, because it makes your pattern pop. See? Whoops. Okay, and wipe it with a lappy. Okay, and I'll lift it up for you. You can see your pattern is really lovely. Okay, let's get that out the way. Okay, so really looks super, and I love this embossing folder. I don't really advocate specific brands, so you'll very rarely tell me this is this brand or this is that brand. And the very reason is I can never remember, because I never keep the packaging. So everything's out of the packaging and into its correct place. And hence I will not recommend brands, because most of the time I don't know what I'm using. Okay, so you're placing your tag face down. And my fingers were dirty already, can you see that? And then we're going to trim it. I'm going to use my lovely metal craft ruler that I bought recently. And we're trimming it right to the edge of the tag. We're not folding it over, because remember your embossed tape is quite thick now, and we also don't want to waste it. Okay, so I've trimmed that piece there using some 30 micron tape. This is the thin one. I'm going to cover the back. So remember, I always like my back to be finished. Oh, tore that. Okay, face down. Right. Cut a little piece out there, and then using our credit card. But now a friend gave me this wonderful tool, which is if you've got one of those fancy machines. It's for the vinyl, but it works so well for this as well. And you know what, it's big and it's pink, and I don't keep losing it on my table. So okay, and then from the back where your thin tape is, just marking where my tag end. I'll show you where that is now. Okay, you can see I've just marked where the tag is, and it just makes it easier to cut it. So we'll trim it with the blade. On this side with the blade. And here we go. So So these are awesome to make for your for Christmas. They're a lovely gift tag, and you know, if you've got a nice Christmas embossing folder, they're really great. And what a lovely gift to give a friend before Christmas so that she can use it for her gifts when she's wrapping her gifts. So yeah, make a few and give them to your mates. Really a practical gift, and they're so pretty that I always encourage my friends to please hang them on their tree afterwards. Sorry, I didn't cut through this properly. So yes, you know, they can be used as a gift tag, and I'm going to use this specific one to show you how to make it into a gift tag with the name on. So how amazing is that? I use my little eyelet punch and I make a hole in it. I do not have a crocodile, but I use a little leather punch to make my hole in, and a nice piece of ribbon. So now you ask, okay, I've got this gift tag, what do I do? How do I write a person's name on it? I'll use a ballpoint pen, and let's say today we are going to say my awesome friends. Okay, so doesn't look so clear, and all I will do is ink it. Now obviously if you're giving these as gift tags to your friends, they don't have a black Sharpie, but they can just use their marker, and it's eligible. What I do like to do is also put the date on, so I would actually put here 2022. And a very important thing that I've never really addressed in any of the projects that we've done so far, or any of the tags, is that you should initial your tag or anything you work on, because you're giving away a piece of your time and your soul. So I will just put here my hashtag, and I'll say here, made by KJ. So don't feel shy to put your name on something you've made. Okay, so here we've done that. I just want to buffer my craft mat quickly and just show you here. Okie dokie. All right, so at the top you can see I have the date 2022, and it's not that legible, and then I have my awesome friends, which in this light you should be able to read, and it's really lovely. It's a real personal little tag. So thank you to my awesome friends for actually following me and enjoying the YouTube tutorials. I appreciate all your encouragement. Okay, so that's your first one. Then your second tag that we're going to do is, if you've got an embossing folder that has very big patterns. So this is really lovely because you can see they are quite big Christmas baubles, you know. We're going to ink it just with our Sharpie. Okay. Just ink it. I'm not going to do the whole thing because I'm only going to cut out a few today. And as you can see, my Sharpie is getting very dry. I still use it. I want to just show you here quickly the difference between the dry Sharpie and a newer Sharpie. You can see it's very rich in color. Okay, I'm only going to do those few. Okay. And while that ink is waiting to dry, I'm going to take another tag, cover it quickly with our our thin tape. Okay. And I'm working very democart today. You can see there's a little gap there, but that does not matter. And I'm being very untidy because we're not always tidy. And one of my challenges was I always had the dream to do YouTube tutorials, but I never had the confidence to do it. And I truly hate learning new techniques and new things. So it was either unedited videos or no videos at all, no tutorials at all. So ideally what you can use is one of your background tags that you made in previous tutorials, you know, the ugly background tags, but I didn't have one available because I think I've used all mine, hence I'm covering this one. And once again we're going to trim it. Okay, and so we've covered it back and front, and I'm going to use my blade. Did that very skew, but I'll sort that out later. And there, and there. Okay, so I've cut this really skew, but I'll sort that out later. And I missed this piece. Oh, sort it out later. Sort it out now or I forget. Okay. Okay, so there's our ugly background tag that we may have used for another project. You can color it in if you want, but for this one I'm not going to do it because this is lovely and shiny. There's no ink on, and then this has obviously got your ink on it. Let's buff this off quickly with our nail buff. How cool is that? Okay. And just wipe it. Take that away. All right, so using our little scissors, I find it easier to cut when things are a bit smaller. And I don't want to cut the string off because I'm not sure what I'm doing yet. So I'm just going to fussy cut a few of these goodies out. And remember, it's always good to keep your scissors in one direction and move your tape. Okay, so we've cut these out. Let's trim them neater. And this is a really cool trick. You know, you can do it if you've got snowflakes or anything, but I find that the specific embossing folder is really lovely because the bells are quite big, or the baubles, whatever you want to call them, are quite big, so they're easy to see. Okay, and then trim it this way. Sure, and there I had beautiful sun, and as we are busy doing this tutorial, the sun has gone behind a cloud, so it's a grey day again. I was up early this morning to do the tutorial, and the noise factor, they're busy mowing the golf course. Too much noise today. Okay. So you can also color your metal tape embellishments before you cut them out or after you cut them out, doesn't really matter. If you'd like to have a little pop of color with your alcohol inks or your alcohol markers. And let's do this one quick. There you go. A little bit of extra effort and time in this, but really worth it. I made a beautiful card last year for Christmas with this technique. So if you're into your card making, remember everything you're learning in these tutorials can help you in your other projects. So if you're into card making, it's actually really lovely embellishment to add on your card. Something different. People get it and they don't quite understand what this is or how you did it. I love that feeling when you confuse crafty people and they're like, how did you do that? Okay, so there are our 3 little baubles, and here is our tag. So let's see. I think that one's a bit big, although it does look quite cute if we do it like so. And let's have a look at this one. This one's quite sweet. I think we do that. But now, if you look, the little string is short. I'm going to jippo it. I'm going to cut the string off. Okay, there you go. And let's stick them down. So here we go. I'll put this one right from the top. Doesn't that look cute? So really you could make a batch of maybe 6 of these, put them in a little pocket or something and gift your friends. And they really also make beautiful happy mail gifts. So now remember we cut off the string for that one, and I'm going to hand draw a string in. I think that's just going to be better than having a partial string sort of hanging from nowhere. So we'll draw a nice string in there. Okay. And then gently using our card, because you don't want to flatten your impressions. You just make sure it's stuck down really well. And you know me, do a little bit of stitching around the edge. And you honestly don't even have to, you know, ink your stitching or anything like that. Obviously, if you've inked your background because you wanted to pop more, then you can ink your stitching, but I'm leaving it just like this. So it's a subtle detail that is pretty. And the contrast between the inked embossed area and the uninked tag, I think make this a beautiful tag. What do you think? So think and think and think out of the box. You'll surprise yourself, and please share with us what you make. Now, the other thing I just wanted to mention, if I can show you those previous tags that I made, was that this one was also embossed, and I colored it with alcohol sharpies or alcohol markers, and the same here. So this I embossed the outlines, and this I embossed inside the lines, not embossed, colored. Sorry, I got distracted because I heard my hubby calling. So off I go, and show us what you do and use your colors to color in. Oh my word, he really has got me tongue-tied. Off I go to see what the master of the house wants. Take care.